I got that hot and cold water supply line that was going to the kitchen tacked up on that floor joist, nice and neat and pretty up there where it's out of the way. It's down a little bit from the floor up above and up plenty high enough above the bottom of this one where the ceiling is going to go on this one. And I trimmed it off on the other end down there and put the shutoff valves on it so that they're set up so that they will be usable where they're at. They'll be flush against the wall and I'll be able to turn them on and off there. So that's the last little thing I got to do to put the toilet on there. Except, for some reason, wound up with just a little hump of concrete right there on the back side of where that toilet flange is. Just a little piece that sticks up a little bit. So I got my 4.5-inch angle grinder and I got a masonry bit on it. I'm going to go ahead and smooth that down flat and make sure that everything around there is nice and flat and flush. Going down on that hard concrete, there's not going to be any give in anything on there, so I don't want any little things sticking up at all into that porcelain that would cause that toilet to break. I think I'm going to go put my cheater safety glasses on instead of just my cheater glasses. Well, that didn't take much. That spot ground right down, and I felt around there with my hand and I found a couple more spots that might have been just a little bit high. I smoothed those out. But I think what I'm going to do is get some tar paper and lay down there where the toilet's going to go so it's a little bit of insulation and cushion between that concrete floor and that porcelain toilet. That way it's not just sitting right on the cement. But I can't put the toilet on there by myself anymore. I have to wait until I get some help to do that. I might have been able to do it by myself if I could just put the stool down and then put the tank on top of it. But this toilet is an integral toilet. It has the tank and everything is all built into it. So a little bit too much for me to handle by myself anymore. I got 2 layers of 15-pound building felt, aka tar paper, put down there on the floor to act as a cushion underneath that toilet. It was off the end of a roll, so it had a pretty good curl into it. I put it down there on the floor and put some masking tape on it to help hold it down, keep the curl out of it so it don't kick it up and bunch it up when we're putting the toilet on there. And then I put the toilet flange bolts in there, the closet flange bolts, whatever the proper term for that is. I had to do a little bit of work with a hammer and a screwdriver to clean the slots out for that. There's a little bit of cement in them, but it didn't take too much to get them cleaned out, so that thing's all ready to go. Now once I get the toilet on there and set down, I'll take a knife and trim that tar paper out around the perimeter, the bottom of the toilet, so you'll never even see that tar paper there, and then maybe take a little bit of white caulking or something and put around there, the bottom of it. I feel better having that, a little bit of cushion between that cement and the porcelain on that toilet. Probably not necessary, so I had that pretty flat, but beggars can't be choosers. You don't want to take a chance on cracking that thing. So anyway, that thing is ready to get the toilet put on there. I'm thinking now, maybe when my son comes home from walking the dogs, maybe I'll have him help me put it on, although it wouldn't hurt to have 3 of us to do it instead of just 2. We'll see what happens here. Well, I got my son to come up and give me a hand, and my wife, when they got back from running the dogs, and we got the toilet set in here. First flush. It works just like it's supposed to. Got the modern low water valves in here, and it's a little bit slow filling up, but it does fill up. We got two valves or 2 triggers here, plungers. One is for the big stuff and one is for the little stuff. Okay. Now we got indoor plumbing. Well, that toilet is all installed and working properly. I just put the bolts on it to bolt it down. Now that bowl commode is skirted all the way around, and there are access holes on the side to get in to tighten the bolts up. I got into it kind of as much from the back to tighten them down as I did from the side, because a little wrench wouldn't hardly fit in there. But anyway, I got it bolted down, and then there's some little caps that cover up those holes on the side. I got those put on. And I trimmed up the tar paper and got it out of the way. So that pretty much finishes that up. Now I can get some caulking and caulk around the bottom of that, but I think it looks pretty good the way it is, and it works. We haven't actually used it yet, but we have flushed it a few times and it works. I got one more thing to do on this portion of this project, and that's to put the joggle up there on the first floor at the top of this stack where it goes up to the second floor. Get that all set up, glued up, and then put a fitting on the top of the stack that goes into the second floor, so we can put the drain and the dehumidifier in there and get the dehumidifier hooked up. But the way the weather is, it's a good time to be working indoors. We got heavy rain again. I flew a little bit today and didn't do too bad. The weather was marginal. It wasn't blowing too bad in most of the places. It did rain a little bit, but then this afternoon it just poured down rain out here again. It's supposed to be 100% chance of rain for the next few days, so good time to be doing indoor projects. Anyway, that's one project down. That's been a long time coming. We've been out here 25 years using the outdoor composting toilet. So now we got indoor plumbing. We got a sink with hot and cold running water, and a shower with hot and cold running water, and a toilet all inside. Now it's nice to have a sink where we can wash up in here now, but as far as going to the toilet in the summertime, it's not too bad in the outhouse, the outdoor composting toilet. I like to sit there with the door open and watch the deer walk around and the birds fly and stuff like that. But sometimes in the wintertime when it's really cold, it's really hard to get motivated to get out there and sit on that frozen wood. Anyway, that project is wrapped up. The toilet is in. We'll finish up the rest of it tomorrow. Well, it's a rainy, nasty day outside again today, so it was a good day to work on indoor projects again. I think I got her all wrapped up now. I just finished up with this soil stack. I had to put a joggle in up there on the first floor. And we run the pipe up to the second floor, and it goes into where the toilet's going to be on the second floor when we get that bathroom ready. But right now we wanted a place to put the drain for the dehumidifier that's upstairs. I put two 45s up there. I put one 45 out from this vertical pipe here, and then run a short section and then another 45 off the bottom of that other pipe to get it over where I wanted it. Anyway, we got it all done. It's all glued up. It's all ready to go, and that finishes off that project now. And then of course we got the closet flange in and everything, and got that toilet installed. No leaks, no runs, no errors on that. It's working good. And then we got the utility sink in. It's all plumbed in, hot and cold running water. And then I've got the dehumidifier up there on a shelf where it's out of the way, and we've got the hose running out of it down into the utility sink, so it's got a good place to drain there, and I don't have to move that every time we want to do something in that corner now. It's up out of the way. We just got to get that other dehumidifier upstairs set up, but my part of this job is done. The plumbing part of it is done for now. The weather is too bad to work outside. I'd like to get started on that addition on the house, but with it pouring down rain, there's not much I can do out there, much that I want to do out there. I guess I could get the flooring and start putting the floor down now that we know where toilet and stuff like that is going to be, but I didn't want to put anything down until we get ready to put the roof on it so it all stays dry, nothing gets wet. Right now we just got the plastic over it to keep it dry, and I've got to build the trusses. So what I want to do is I want to build the trusses and get those ready to put on, so when we get ready to do everything it can all go pretty quick. I can put the floor down, put the walls up, put the trusses on and the roof on, and it'll all be weathered in that way, and then we can do the rest of the work later. But with it raining like this, I don't like doing that, getting everything wet. So I got to figure out where I'm going to build my trusses. I thought I was going to do it down in the hangar, but I got to taking some measurements down there and I don't have quite enough room for that. I have to see what I can do about that. Anyway, this little project's finished. On to something else. Always something else. And the wife's happy we've got an indoor toilet.